veteran who's struggling with a return to civilian life, or if you have a family member or a friend or a neighbor who you know is similarly burdened, just know that there is help available today. And just as you were there for us, we will be there for you to see you through this time. So we've been providing for the practical needs of those who serve, but also from the first day of this administration. This president has taken steps to ensure that our returning veterans can live the American dream that they fought so nobly to defend. In fact, President Trump signed legislation to expand the post-9/11 GI Bill so that veterans can get up to $24,000 to attend the college of their choice at any point in their lives. And 3 months ago, President Trump directed the Department of Education to eliminate every last penny of student debt owed by a permanently disabled veteran. With a stroke of a pen, the President wiped out $750 million owed by more than 25,000 heroes. And thanks to the President's leadership, not only are we making education more available, more affordable for our veterans, but our returning veterans are also coming back to an American economy that is booming, and veterans' unemployment is at a 19-year low. On this Veterans Day, we honor those who served, like all of you gathered here. We honor you with tributes and promises kept. But as our veterans understand better than most, we also honor your service by ensuring that the men and women in our armed forces today have the resources and the support that they need to accomplish their mission and defend this nation. And this we have done. As they proved just 2 weeks ago, in a raid that took out the world's #1 terrorist leader, the armed forces of the United States are the greatest force for good the world has ever known. And I'm proud to report to all the veterans gathered here and those looking on that from the first day of this administration, President Trump has taken action to make the strongest military in the history of the world stronger still. This president has actually signed the largest investment in our national defense since the days of Ronald Reagan, including the largest pay raise for our armed forces in more than 10 years. And I'll make a promise to all the veterans gathered here. Under this president's leadership, our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard will always have the resources and the support that they need. So help us God. So it's Veterans Day in America, the day we honor all of you who stepped forward and answered the call to defend this nation at home and abroad. You came from the rest of us, but we know you are the best of us. And on this day and every day, we honor your courage, your patriotism, and what you've done for us. You put on the armor, you stood in the gap, you defended our freedom, you counted our lives more important than your own. You stood for a cause greater than yourselves. Nine years ago this month, a 21-year-old Marine was serving our country in Afghanistan. History records he was on top of a house with his fellow Marine, looking out at a village around them, when suddenly an insurgent threw a grenade on the roof, and without a moment's hesitation, he threw himself on the grenade and absorbed the impact of the blast. He suffered terrible injuries. Every part of his body that wasn't protected was injured: face, neck, thigh, foot, lung. But somehow he survived. While he was being treated, he went into cardiac arrest 3 times. He's undergone more than 70 procedures during 40 separate surgeries. But people who know him know that hadn't slowed him down. Today, he's a published author, a popular speaker, a marathon runner, and his faith in God and his patriotism has been an inspiration to millions. And I promise you, and him, that the American people will never forget or fail to honor the service of the youngest living recipient of the Medal of Honor, Corporal Kyle Carpenter. What a great American. I mentioned Kyle because of his heroism, but because of what he said not long ago. He wrote a memoir of his life and told the story of a day that he got into an Uber on his way to the airport. And he started chatting with the driver. He said they talked about their lives. He shared what he'd been through serving our country. And as the conversation wound down, as it does for so many of you veterans, the driver turned and looked at him and said those words that he often hears: "Thank you for your service." But in that moment, as he wrote later, Corporal Carpenter gave a reply that surprised even him. He looked at the driver after he heard those words and said, "You're worth it." As he wrote later, he had wondered to himself, why did I say that? But then he realized, in his words, in that moment, I wanted him to know that his family, his freedom, his rights, just the simple fact that he was a human being meant that he was worth sacrificing for. And that's what I've come to realize serving in the military means. It was a small moment, but with a big meaning. In a single sentence, Lance Corporal Carpenter captured the spirit of every veteran. I could see it in the faces sitting before me when I recited those words, in the gentle nods that so many of you just gave. When you put on the uniform of the United States, you said we're worth it, that our freedom is worth it, and America's worth it. And on this day, on behalf of your president and a grateful nation, thank you. Thank you for considering us worthy of your all in service of this country. So it's Veterans Day in America. To my fellow Americans who did not serve in uniform, I have a challenge for you today. I challenge every American who did not follow a calling into service before the day is out, whether at home or at work, on a street corner, over a backyard fence, find a veteran. Whether they came home in the last week or in the last century, extend your hand and say those words that they never asked to hear, but they deserve to hear every day. Find a veteran today and say, thank you for your service. Because every single one of you deserve to hear it every day. So thank you for the honor of addressing you in this special place. God bless our veterans and their families. God bless our fallen. God bless the men and women who serve in the armed forces of the United States today. And may God continue to bless the United States of America with heroes like all of you. Thank you.